What Went Wrong by Bernard Lewis. It's a New York Times bestseller book. Islam thought it was superior to the West. It failed to notice the Renaissance, the Reformation, the scientific revolution, or the industrial revolution. What went wrong begins with question: why did Western countries advance in science, technology, trade, and other areas of social and economic life, and Middle Eastern countries, especially those considered part of the Muslim world, did not? The whole book is a study on the progressive deterioration of a Muslim civilization. Bernard Lewis begins with Islam's transformation from military superior to inferior of the West, concluding that the problem was not, as was once argued, one of the decline. The Ottoman state and armed forces were as effective as had ever been. It was European invention and experiment that changed the balance of power between the two sides. Islam was the foremost economic power in the world, trading in a wide range of commodities through a far-flung network of commerce and communication in Asia, Europe, and Africa. Islam had achieved the highest level so far in human history in the arts and sciences of civilization. It was in the Islamic Middle East that Indian numbers were for the first time incorporated in the inherited body of mathematical learning. Islam is one of the world's great religions. It has given dignity and meaning to Arab and impoverished life. It has taught men of different races to live in brotherhood and people of different creeds to live side by side in reasonable tolerance. It has inspired a great civilization in which others besides Muslims lived creative and useful life, and which by its achievement enriched the whole world. What went wrong? For a long time people in the Islamic world have been asking this question. Ottoman writer wrote, "Our women are now seen as serving no useful purpose to mankind other than having children. They are considered simply as serving for pleasure, like musical instrument or jewels." Another reason for the decline is science and technology, and the third one is arts. European traveler Jean, who visited Persia in 1674, saying that the Persians had neither clock nor watches. In the course of 20th century, it became clear that the Middle East, and indeed all over lands of Islam, that things had indeed gone badly wrong. In the course of 19th and 20th century, it is clear that West is the dominant force. For a long time, the Mongols were the favorite villain, and the Mongol invasion of the 13th century were blamed for the destruction of both Muslim power and Islamic civilization. The period of French and British dominance in much of the Arab world in the 19th and 20th century produced a new and more plausible scapegoat: Western imperialism. In Bernard Lewis' view, the main culprit in Muslim sexism and the relegation of women to an inferior position in society, thus depriving the Islamic world of the talents and energies of half of its people. The point has often been made, if Islam is an obstacle to freedom, to science, to economic development, how is it that Muslim society in the past was a pioneer in all three? And this when Muslims were much closer in time to the sources and inspiration of their faith than they are now. Some have indeed posed the question in a different form now. What has Islam done to the Muslim? But what have the Muslims done to Islam?